Hi, hello, and welcome back to another RuPaul's Drag Race Top 10 Favorite Outfits for a Season. In this episode, I am going to be talking about the absolutely incredible Season 8. There were a lot of looks that I really loved from this season, a lot of things that Kim Chi put out. I enjoyed a lot of what Bob put on the runway. Almost all of Thorgy's runways were some of my favorites. Acid Betty. There were some great queens that were on this season, and it was hard to whittle this down to just 10, but I managed to do it despite the struggle bus. I will say the only thing that is kind of a bummer about this season is, unlike 7, which, I mean, my god, 7 really was doing the thing when it came to fashion, as well as the prompts. I don't know if 8 had some really magical prompts. We had Roller Girl and Neon, and those were pretty interesting. Black and White was pretty fun, inspired by Detox. But then kind of everything else was just a little bit of a miss, and I do feel that that was partially due to the limited amount of episodes in this particular season. There were just not a lot of episodes because it was a shorter cast. They were really honing in on this 100th Queen scenario, and they didn't have the ability to have more queens, so they had to sort of just keep everything limited, which I understand. I loved the tribute to all the fashion challenges throughout all the seasons, and it just was incredible to see all the season 3 representation, because they really were trying to kill those girls when it came to the design challenges. This was a fun episode to record. I hope you enjoy, and once again, as always, these are my opinions on my 10 favorite fashions. If your favorite didn't end up here, it is no shade. Please let me know whatever your favorite is. And as always, I get these photos from the Drag Race Wiki, which you can find in the description of this video. And without further ado, let's jump on in. Starting in the number 10 slot is Acid Betty's movie premiere Realness. This was such a snoozy category in my opinion, but I really enjoyed this take that Acid Betty did. When you think about a movie premiere, you think something that is just really luxe, something that is sort of avant-garde, a little bit wild. And in the realness category, the idea is that you are passing, that someone would see you and go, oh my god, you are whatever this is. So in executive realness, someone would look at you and say, you run a business, you own everything, right? That's the idea of realness. A movie premiere with a realness tab on it would, I think, imply that you are a celebrity. And I think this look screams celebrity. This look shows someone who is living on their own planet. The headpiece is really extravagant. I do feel that this might be a movie premiere look from a very niche genre for a very niche audience. This doesn't quite read as something that a normal everyday celebrity would have, but it's still really cool and I enjoy it. In the number 9 slot is Layla McQueen's Design Challenges of the Past look, where she was doing RuPacalypse Now, the season 4 design challenge. This look got read the house down. Layla was in the bottom for this challenge, and I still don't understand why. I still don't get it. Sure, it's like a panty underneath, but the jacket detailing on this is immaculately made. I have no idea how she was able to construct this in that amount of time, and a jacket is really hard to make. There's a lot of nice detail work. You see it in the sleeves, you see it on the left part of her waist, you see it with all of this ruffling that she added into it, whatever that material is that's on the shoulders that give it a lot of visual interest. It's styled well in comparison to some of the girls in this episode who literally just tied a piece of fabric around their body and called it macaroni. This was immaculate in comparison, and yes, her photo shoot wasn't that good, but this look was. And keeping my eyes on it now, I'm reminded how much work she actually put into this. It's a great look, and it should not have landed her in the bottom, and it's one of the most, I think, iconic looks from that particular episode. In the number 8 slot is the Roller Girls runway. This was Thorgy Thor's interpretation of a roller girl. What I like about this is the 80s/90s inspo. Love these beautiful jewel tones with this super high-waisted short that's very cute with the little heart detail on it. Love this hair on Thorgy. Love the prop of having a cassette player. Plus these long like Tina Belcher socks are so cute. I love just the very simple styling of one chunky bangle and then the sweatband, because when you're skating, you might get hot, you might be in the sun. So you just want to dab off your sweat so you look cute in case you see one of the cute guys down by the beach or something, wherever you're skating at. But I think Thorgy looks really cute and very much in theme. It's not too complicated. It's just simple enough that it doesn't feel lazy. It feels very real, and real is what you feel. And I think for a challenge like this, you do have to go a little more literal. In the number 8 slot is Layla McQueen's finale look. God, I love this look so much. It's so odd and bizarre with the little baby doll heads on the titties and then the eyeball right in the middle that looks hand painted on this corset. Gorgeous purple robe, eggplant hair, Ariana Grande styled. The signature Layla makeup, gorgeous sparkly shoe, and I think that she looks incredible. This was one of my favorite looks from the finale. It did beat out one of Kim Chi's looks for the ball. I almost put it up here, and that would have kind of scooted everything upwards. I almost chose that final look because I loved it so much, but I am obsessed with this purple color, and I think it's so perfectly Layla. And so it had to be in the top 10 for me. In the number 6 slot is Naomi Smalls' autobiographical eleganza extravaganza look that RuPaul completely took. If you'll remember, she did the exact silhouette that Naomi created here. What Naomi did was sort of similar to, I think what Raja and Manila did during the Money Ball, is took their materials and created a really high fashion eleganza experience for their outfit. This looks gorgeous. Love the really exaggerated silhouette. And I think anytime you have massive hips, you create going to the ball type of a vibe. And I think that's really what this gives, is just an old school Cinderella fairy tale classic ball vibe. And for a ball, it's good to mix references like that. I'm glad to see shape, because a lot of this season, Naomi wasn't giving a ton of shape. And this was one that she really went ham on. And I think she was really listening to what the judges wanted from her, which was more than just a bra and a panty. And that's what she delivered. And it looks great. To construct something like this and have it have so much structure and it's just paper is a really big feat. And I enjoy this fashion moment. I really do. In the number 5 slot is Bob the Drag Queen's autobiographical eleganza extravaganza. I'm noticing a theme with all these looks is that they were not top looks, but for me, they were top looks. This is one of the most memorable runway, I think, of the entire season. And I think most people would agree that Bob's look here was not one of the worst of the night. Obviously, Derek's was. It's kind of hard to choose who else should have been in the bottom because Naomi banged out that wonderful last dress. Chi-Chi's look was so good. Kim's look was so good. So who else was going to be at the bottom? It's kind of hard. Plus, it's a good story moment to have them lip sync against each other. Bob finally sent Derek home after they had just gotten a joint win the week before, after they had been feuding all season. There was a big story reason why you would want to have them lip sync against each other. But it really is a crime that Bob had to lip sync in this outfit because it's great. The blue ombre into the yellow is so beautiful. It's giving like solar system. I really enjoy this massive side swept pageant hair with the little fascinator. And something that's important in a design challenge is to take the materials and turn them into something else. Embrace the materials, as Kim Chi once said. And Bob embraced the materials and transformed the materials. So this was a wonderful look in my opinion. It's got a lovely shape. I like all the different pieces, and I actually created something similar to this using a corset with painted paper and painted books. I think Bob was not afraid to really go there and unfortunately got punished. Going into the number 4 slot is Kim Chi's finale gown. Mama, this gorgeous teal hair. I love a side swept hair moment. I love a good wop to the side. This is the height of Kim's makeup because she's kind of got these beautiful lined lips. So let's talk about the actual dress itself and why this is such a cool statement piece. It looks expensive as hell. You've got a kind of marbled textured pattern at the top of this dress that's already been rhinestone that goes into these spikes, and that adds richness to a gown. Is when you have texture, your eyes start drifting down into another kind of funky silhouette. It starts out just with a teacup, but it continues to ruffle out and then ruffle down into this unique river shape that goes all the way down to the ankles. That's what makes it kind of special here, is that you don't see gowns that are designed like this. All of the fabric that's in here, I'm guessing that for one of those individual ruffles, like that ruffle that's going straight down in the very light baby blue, that's probably like at least 6 yards worth of fabric, because you can see that it's bustled out even underneath it. The way that curves, that's multiple yards. And then you've got all of these other colors that are all bunched in there. You can tell how rich and luxe it is because you can tell that there's a lot of fabric. And sometimes when you can look at a dress, you could see how much is involved in it and it doesn't look messy. You can just tell that it's opulent. It's all just a super cohesive look and looks great for a finale. In the number 3 slots is Thorgy Thor's movie premiere realness. And I'm going to echo what the judges said in that particular episode, is that Thorgy thought about a movie premiere and thought about something cozy and comfy. Thorgy thought about doing something sparkly and fun and whimsical and totally her while keeping it relaxed. A movie premiere should be about having a good time and showing off the work that you did, whether you were a part of the directing crew, production, or whether you were an actor on set. If you were a main actor or if you were just a little side character. Everything that you present at a movie premiere is about being there for hours on end, making a statement, and also being able to sit down comfortably and watch said movie. And I think that Thorgy really accomplished that. I think this jumpsuit looks stunning on her and her body looks great. I love the choice of shoe and the hair as well as these hoop earrings. She looks beautiful, and I think that this was absolutely a winning look in my opinion. In the number 2 slot is Acid Betty's neon realness look. This creature from the Black Lagoon is insane to me. I love the Wendy Williams hands, how you doing pose here. The body suit is really fabulous. It's almost an exact match to the body paint. It's just slightly too metallic, but the fact that it's so close and even looks like there was some hand painting details on it to give it a little more dimension and depth shows a really strong vision on Betty's part. I enjoy the makeup as you go up, that you continue into this neon with this bright neon pink lip, these crazy lashes with the neon blue underneath it, these gills that are coming off to the side, the neon green and yellows that are all present on the neck, and then more of that highlighter color that's all in the hair. How did this hair stick on her head? It doesn't look like there's lace, and maybe there is, but it doesn't look like there is. And it stays on top of her head without moving in this architectural shape. Betty's crazy for this look. And a lot of Betty's looks where it's just this really structural architectural hair, she's insane for coming up with these looks and being able to execute them well. Not a lot of queens could come up with something like this and be able to have it be presentable for long periods of time. This is very much the idea and the spirit of a club kid. Going in and making a big statement, being seen. All eyes on you like you're the center ring of a circus. And that's what Betty did in this outfit. It was one of the strongest concepts on the runway that night. And I wish that more drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race would think this far out of the box. This is some Dragula level shenanigans. And I think that if more queens went in this direction, we would have such cool runway concepts. Like, I really believe that with my whole heart. Betty was the blueprint for people going super far out of the box. And I wish more people would follow this. Finally, a drum roll please. In the number 1 spot is Bob the Drag Queen's black and white realness look. Ooh, bitch. I think about this look all the time. This was such a good look for Bob. So we have 2 different tones of black and white polka dot, which are brilliant. The middle corset being something that's not polka dot and being diamonds, but also black and white, is really smart to break up all of this fabric, because if it was just polka dots all the way up and down, it would be hard to look at because there's not really a focal point. However, the diamonds allow you to have a focal point. They break up the optics of the top and the bottom. Then there's another really smart concept that's in here of these long black gloves, so that it's not asymmetrical with one side being white, one side being black. It's just black all the way through. And I love the clown ruffle. I do wish that it was a little more, like, this is maybe 2 yards, maybe, if I'm being really generous, of tulle fabric that's going around. And if this had been maybe like 5 or 6 yards worth of tulle fabric that was just immaculately ruffled, like Kimchi's dress for that finale, where it was just a huge giant collar, I think it could have added a little more opulence to this. I think Bob's done this look a couple times for promo stuff, and she always looks so good. I love the makeup concept. It's smart if you're doing a black and white look to cover up your whole body and just have the makeup be your standpoint, have that be your emphasis point, right? And then I think it's smart to do that. Have everything else just be covered so you don't have to worry about painting your arms or your legs or any other parts of your body, so there won't be any gaps in the black and white illusion. And I really love this gigantic hair. This hair is one of the most fabulous things that I've ever seen on this season, and I think about this wig a lot and how much work went into it. What I especially enjoy is the concept. You think black and white and you're going for a black and white runway, I think your mind would go a lot of different ways. Maybe you'd go to sort of I Love Lucy, classic sitcom. I don't think a lot of people would think, I'm gonna go kind of old school, almost vaudevillian type clown. And Bob really went there. Much like in her book ball look, Bob was not afraid to go there. And Bob really took us to a fantastical place. And Bob being a comedian and then dressing up as a clown is also really smart. This is one of Bob's best looks, and I think some of the best makeup all season, in my opinion, from Bob. I also was really inspired to make big clown collar pieces like this with other pieces of fabric because of Bob. And I think that shows her influence, and that's why it's my number 1. Thank you so much for watching the season 8 top 10 fashion looks. Let me know what your top looks are from this season. I would love to read those in the comments below. Check out some of my other Drag Race content. I also post a lot of gaming content, and I post one thing every single day for the remainder of the year, which is crazy, I know. See you on the flip. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.